Now we'll discuss an important topic, and that is Doing Business Report of 2018. Now before we move on to the analysis part, first of all we'll go through the basics. Now what exactly do you mean by this Doing Business Report? Now this is an annual report that is released by the World Bank, and in this about 190 economies are being ranked based on their business regulations. And the ranking is mainly based on 10 parameters. Now these 10 parameters mainly have to do with the starting of a business, then getting a location, accessing finance, day-to-day operations, as well as the business environment. And moving on to the parameters specifically, they are starting a business, second parameter dealing with the construction permits, third parameter getting electricity, fourth parameter registering property, fifth parameter getting credit, sixth parameter it is protecting the minority investors, and seventh parameter trading across the borders, eighth parameter paying taxes, ninth parameter enforcing the contracts, and the last parameter that is resolving of the insolvencies. So these are the 10 parameters based on which the ranking is being done in the World Bank report. So this year or recently World Bank released its report, and that is known as Doing Business 2018 Reforming to Create Jobs. Now I've already mentioned that this is an annual report, so every year World Bank comes up with this report and India has a ranking. But what is it that makes this year report very important or a rather much debated topic? It is because of India's ranking. Now India leapfrogged about 30 ranks, that is 30 ranks, and right now or in this year it has been ranked at the 100th position. Now that is the highest jump by any country in this year. Again, India is the only economy among the South Asian nations as well as the BRICS to be included in the most improved economies this year. Now when it comes to its performance in regard to the indicators or the parameters, India has improved its ranking in 6 out of the 10 parameters. Now what all are those 6 parameters? First is in regard to getting credit, where it improved its ranking from the 44th to the 29th position. And second is in regard to protecting the minority investors. Now this was mainly due to the efforts that was taken by the government as well as the capital market regulator SEBI. And then you have the improvement also seen in paying taxes. Now this can be mainly attributed to the reforms like online payment to the Employee Provident Fund as well as the administrative measures that were taken to simplify the corporate income tax regulations. And then again you have the improvement also seen in resolving the insolvency. Now this improvement can be attributed to the insolvency as well as bankruptcy code as well as the actions taken under it. So these are the main parameters where a drastic improvement was being seen. Other parameters were mainly dealing with the construction permits as well as enforcing contracts. Now in enforcing contracts, the World Bank specially mentioned about the creation of the National Judicial Data Grid. So these are the main 6 parameters where India improved its ranking. Again, India has moved closer to the international best practices in 9 out of the 10 parameters. Now how do you know whether an economy has been moving towards the international best practices or not? It is mainly using the DTF score, or what you call it as a distance to frontier score. Now what do you mean by this distance to frontier score? Now as the term suggests, distance to frontier, that means distance of each economy from the frontier. So now what do you mean by this term frontier? Now frontier represents the best performance on each of the indicators among all the economies that are being considered for the ranking. That is, the best performance is termed as frontier. Now the scale is usually 0 to 100. So in simple terms you can say that the DTF score represents the distance of an economy from the best performance on each of the parameters on a scale of 0 to 100. Okay, so in case of India, the DTF score improved in about 9 parameters except for registering the property where it was not improved. And that has taken the overall DTF score of India up by 4.71 points, and presently, or as per the recent report, the DTF score is 60.76. Last year it was 56.05. So this is how India was able to improve its DTF score, that is the overall DTF score. So this is all about the report.